What she just said.
The words that come to my mind are paranoia, hysteria, in the sense that, but not without reason, considering our own peculiar circumstances. However, there are really grave allegations that I refuse to accept a situation where we just simply say a blanket, we thought to put this out, that there's a possibility that stuff like this is going on. If we
I think she said a little bit more than that, actually. I think she said they had reasonable, verified places where things were taking place, and therefore they thought to let people know, and that is their job. She said not everything they could verify. She was open about that. But she said there are things.
To put that out there,
no. I don't think there's anything dangerous about saying to people we have evidence that in a place like Imo,
if there's evidence,
journalists. Well, that is what she said,
if
and
there's evidence,
I have no reason to believe she will come on air and lie about this, because with the ones she couldn't verify, she said that's why she didn't talk about them. She says in places like Imo State, journalists are not being allowed to go into coalition centers. And she gave the example. In Bauchi, it is a matter of national news that a curfew was declared. And the young people in Bauchi have refused to leave the INEC office. They are still there holding a night vigil because they believe the curfew is an excuse to try and change the results of their votes. So these are things that can be verified. And I think as a civil, they are the voice of the Nigerian people. They're the ones who speaks for the Nigerians. Politicians have people who speak for them. They speak for themselves. People in government have people speaking for them. What you do, people like you do, is hopefully represent the Nigerian person.
For me, right, in my mind, and I said to you not without reason, because of our circumstances, but first line of defense, I repeat, party agents, right? First line of defense. And I stand to be corrected. I think the results from the polling unit are actually signed off by there's a tri-party.
There's an assumption that not every Nigerian belongs to a political party.
Wait a second.
He's talking about agents.
Wait a second.
Agents of political parties.
Right? Because we cannot all superintend this process. Let me finish. Party agents sign off results from each polling unit. And I believe this is that document that Lai Mohammed is referring to, that when we collate these documents, we know the numbers. So you can't fiddle with those numbers. Second line of defense is the people, right? Which is what she has mentioned.
Let me give you a reason why the APC and the PDP party defense might not necessarily be the one that favors the average Nigerian voter. As we speak, 2 days ago, when elections happened, was a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll give you a typical example. We saw an election sheet that was released on social media that was supposedly the polling unit of the director of publicity for the PDP, Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode. That result sheet showed that he had lost in his particular polling unit, in the sense that he had not, the PDP had not won elections. A day after that, he releases a different sheet showing that actually the PDP at that same polling unit had done well. And this is what I was talking about, why I was saying that the difficulty of anybody accepting information from either the APC or the PDP, because they are not unbiased.
Absolutely.
They are not objective. They are all going to push whatever it is that they think they need to push that will be good for their parties. And I'm suggesting that we therefore need objective observers, people for whom this election, the only interest they have is in making sure that we entrench the democratic process, and that when you vote, it counts, regardless of who you vote for. And I'm suggesting that the civil society groups we have, people such as yourselves, are the people that are doing that job for us right now, because we can't rely on political parties to do it.
And let's also not forget the fact that even if
it's not unlimited, and it is not a coordinated.
It does not invalidate the results on those sheets as well. Let's not forget that as well.
How do you mean?
Party agents,
according to INEC, yes.
According to INEC, whether a party agent signs off on the result sheet or not, it does not invalidate the result on those result sheets. So yes, party agents, fine and good, but then we can't say that.
It goes back to INEC.
It goes
Yes.
back to
That's
INEC, but then of
INEC's
course,
job you're
Yes.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
but what
INEC's
I'm
job.
saying
but you know,
is-
they
what
are
I'm
not
saying-
being
We
put
can't
out
do
here.
INEC's
Well, no,
job.
we're not doing
The people
INEC's
can't
job.
do it.
No.
The
Look at it. That's like
observers
saying we're going to throw our hands
no,
up and
no.
allow our fate to be determined by whoever
We're not
chooses to
saying that
determine
we
it.
shouldn't.
We are
shouldn't do what we
voters.
can do. We should do what we can do, but we can't do everything.
I
That's
agree.
why
Well, of
the
course.
taxpayers
I
are
agree.
paying for INEC to do their
Yes,
job.
but where INEC, the umpire, is being accused of being biased in some cases, you need independent people who will say, INEC, this result you've
Who will
declared
hold INEC to
in
account.
Lagos Island, I have evidence that shows that actually those were not the results that were declared at the time that these elections were cast. And I am suggesting that working with regular voters such as myself, such as you, civil society organizations can actually play that role. And that is why you've got, I asked her if there's anybody independently collating this
She
vote.
says there's
And
nobody
she said there
for the
isn't.
entirety
Yeah,
of
for
the
the
nation.
entirety, but you've got, clusters of people doing, and that's good enough for me.
But is it good enough for the entire process? It's not good enough for the entire
Is
process.
it
Unless
coordinated?
there's-
Is it
there's still gonna be
coordinated?
those-
Let Bala get in a word in here.
Let me. This is what I have to say. I'm really wondering now. You see, we are first of all we are trying to carry out a post-mortem, right? What we are doing is at the moment now, even though the final result is not out, the announcement has not been made, but we are carrying out what I can best describe as after activity analysis. And the only reasons is we want to see where we had errors, learn our lessons before the election of 11th April. As it stands today, I can tell you personally, I don't want to believe that the results that has been collated at respective centers will be tampered with.
But you don't want to, you may
what
not
is-
want to
but-
believe.
but-
But let me come.
But it's not
Just a
about
minute.
No, I can't agree. I can't agree with that.
Let me come. Let me come.
Let it
Allow
go.
me to
Let it
explain.
go.
But except we say there are no party agents
But
in those polling booths.
The information
And-
is that they are being kicked out. I got a call
Yeah.
from someone trying to find out from me
Yes.
how true it is that there are security people.
But we can come up with our own verdict.
And
If we
that
co-
they are kicking, party agents
Have
out.
the
and
parties
taking
cried out?
voters
Have the
out.
parties cried
exactly.
out?
No, let's be.
Well,
Have the parties cried out?
Look at what happened in Rivers State.
Let's
they
be
saw,
fair.
They saw what they saw as irregularity, and there was a massive protest. I bet that if there was anybody doing something like that in someone's neighborhood,
They will kill him.
They're going to come out.
We've been on air. I don't know. Let me go and look at my phone first and see
Exactly.
whether I've got
You
complaints.
know what? You know what?
I'm just,
You know what?
my
Rule of law. You know what I mean? Rule of law, because at the end of the day, no matter what, I know you're going to roll your eyes at this one, but
this is
we are
Nigeria.
going to end up.
Impunity
We are
is
going to
our
end up.
second
We are going
name.
to end up at the election tribunals. There's no doubt about. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? You can't. We can't take the laws into our hands.
No, we can't.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, which is why evidence is key.
Yes,
Which
but,
is why
but
all of this
trying
must
to
be put
raise awareness, there's nothing wrong with that, which is what essentially these
Exactly.
people
It's just
said
to
they're
create the
doing.
awareness.
It
They're
is
just
saying
saying,
to
look, be
people that,
cautious,
look,
be careful.
we're getting
So we're
information
hearing.
that suggests A and B would happen. You as INEC, please take note of this. You as a voter, take note of this. You as a party person, as a politician, take note that Nigerians are watching you and may not actually accept any attempt you make. So it's a cautionary tale, really. It's not. They're not. As far as I'm concerned. But, as a woman, to be honest with you, I was very offended when you used the word hysteria to describe her statement, and I'd wondered whether if it was a man speaking, that's a word you would use. No, I was very
Hysteria
offended.
in the sense that,
You know.
this can lead to hysteria.
No, I'm just-
You know what I mean? I mean, there's
but
no,
that's not what
there's
you
no,
said.
gender, there's no,
But that's
there's
not
no,
what you said.
there's no gender bias. Why? I mean, why does it have to be a woman? Anybody? It came from the center or the.
Yeah, but it was
the
Yemi
issue-
speaking,
the-
and
the
your
issue
next
is
word
not-
was
the issue is-
hysteria and
this can
paranoia.
lead to-
This
this
and
is-
that.
Now,
It
we
is-
are
It is
discussing this.
paranoia.